Very rarely do you come across companies which have started with an investment of just 20,000 rupees, started from a backyard and now into the big leagues. Today on this edition of India Revival Mission, it gives me great pleasure to welcome on board Mrs. Rajni Bector. She's the founder of the Cremica group of companies and the director on the board of Mrs. Bector's Food Specialities Limited. Mrs. Bector, pleasure having you on the show today. And like I said in my introduction, what a journey it's been for you. Started off in your backyard with an investment of 20,000 rupees and now grown many folds from that level into the big league. Tell us how the journey has been as you look back.
And it is really a great pleasure for me. Because the main thing is, when I started the company, I never thought of it that I'm going to do it in a big way. I just thought it's my passion, and the passion is going to be just like that. It's like a hobby. It's a hobby passion, nothing more than that. Because I never felt like I'll be doing a business. Because it was the main demand which really created me and just made me go ahead with my passion. And that is the main thing, because I basically started from my kitchen as a hobby. And from my kitchen, I used to supply people. And then I felt like, I should have it a bigger way because I was getting more orders and all for everything. Because I started with ice creams, puddings, cakes, and biscuits. That was my big passion for then salads and all these things. And I was doing for all the marriage parties and all everything. And then slowly it was going so high. Then I started making bread. Then after bread, I was just came into the biscuits. Then biscuits we came to sauces. And then the buns and all over, it was going like that because it took some time for me to go like that. And it was a period of, because I started in 1978. And in 1978, it was a small city like Ludhiana. There was, the ladies were good families from North used to go and do work anywhere. So there was so much of criticism and rejections from everybody, why you are doing it, what for you are doing it. But my passion really, with my husband's help, he just supported me. Just do whatever you feel like. Just go ahead with everything. So that was the main thing which really gave me the feeling of going ahead with everything. That is the main thing which matters quite a bit in my life. Or anything else you want to know about my working, so I can just tell you for that.
Sure. I'm very curious to know that starting off and coming off from Ludhiana, the land of chola bhaturas and kulchas and lassi, how did you get into baking?
It was my passion, to be very frank. And I was a creative with all my ideas and everything. Because generally, I used to go for some classes here and there because I used to love to attend to the classes and all. I did a dairy technology course also in PAU. And I did some other courses also, but I just learned the basic of everything. But I innovated the ice creams also. I innovated about 40 flavors into it and all. And main thing was even the head of the department, there was Dr. S.C. Jain used to be there. He was a triple doctorate in ice creams from Harvard, America, and then Germany, Switzerland and all. Then he was a very big thing in this field in dairy technology. He was a big one. And he used to tell me, how, Mrs. Bector, you doing it? I say, I can't make out so many things. How you are doing it? I say, this is my only passion. It's my, I think, taste bud, which is really going towards all these things. I just keep on thinking, if I'll add this thing, it will be like this. I will add this thing, it will be like this. And I started making all the toppings myself. And I was basically the first person in Punjab, you can say, who created the puddings, cakes, and salads and ice creams of these types. Because nobody else was there, nobody knew what the salads are, what the puddings are, and what everything. But because Ludhiana was Ludhiana, Amritsar, Jalandhar, you can say this part, or the Haryana also, the people were only basically Indian things. They never knew about the Western, these puddings and all. For them, it was a very big surprise, and the salads also was a very big surprise. And all the people used to tell me, they said, you have just getting a taste for all these things. It is such good, such nice things and all. So this was push me like anything. So I started supplying to all over Punjab. You can say Jalandhar, Amritsar, Chandigarh, Ambala, Delhi. Till Delhi I was supplying, till even UP I was supplying. Everywhere, even Dehradun, Banaras, everywhere my things were going for marriage parties and all. So that was giving me push like anything because I was appreciated everywhere. People used to say, wow, it was too good. And then initial start, I never used to believe in any staff or anything. I used to have just a helper or so, one or two, that's all. And I used to work for 18 hours a day. My children were in the hostel, so I could take the advantage of that time. Whenever my children were here at my place when the holidays and things, then I used to just look after them and work at night. I never used to allow my time to go anywhere for my children because I wanted to give them the full time of mother. Because that was my main passion, that my children should not be neglected at all and my family should not be neglected in any case. So that's why I started working like that. And then I thought of it, let me make breads also. So I started making bread in a small way. Then I started in a slightly bigger way. Then I started in a bigger way. We started making breads. Then I started in 1978 and 78 to, you can say 90, we put up a biscuit plant in a big way. It was in a big way. I just put up the biscuit plant and then biscuit plant and the bread plant also in a bigger way.
Absolutely, Mrs. Bector. Yours is a tall legacy and I'm sure your family is very, very proud of you. And so are, so many young women because, now with the onset of social media platforms, your Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, there are so many home bakers out there, much as you started back in 1978. I want to really understand from you, now, of course, things are very, very different than when you started. You had a first mover advantage in that sense with you. What is that one advice that you would like to give to home or hobby bakers, so to speak, who are budding and sprouting almost of every home, especially more during the lockdown?
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm feeling everybody wants to just spend some time and do something good. But now the times have changed. In my times, I was not having any provisions.
Yeah.
The provisions were very less. I used to do everything with my own hand.
Yeah.
Now there are so many things have come up in the market. There are so many ovens, different types of ovens are there, different types of kneaders are there, different types of molds are there. Everything is different. And you are getting so much of stuff. In those days, there was even, you can say, all the decorations of the cakes and all used to be made by my own hands. I used to do everything with my own hands. I used to make my rose flowers, my thing, everything. I used to work at that and do decorations on my own. Now they can do everything, get from the market. And they get the stuff. And then they have the good machinery and everything. And then all the girls who are doing it, they're passing their time. It's very good. It's really good. And it's very encouraging for the women. At least they're not freeing, just wasting their time for nothing. If they have a passion for cooking. So this is a very good thing. Yeah, they should go ahead with it. But the market is there. There is a competition is there. There's a lot of competition everywhere. And sometimes some ladies I have seen, because I have just, I keep on doing some competitions also so many times. I just want to do some cooking competitions to different associations and all. But I just, when I feel it, because there are all the ones who are doing some work or something, they want to work. But the taste buds are not there, which I feel it. Because first, when you are doing any work, I just feel it that all of them should know that whatever they are making, they should make it in such a way that they should get the market for that. They should get the market for that, and then they should be appreciated for that. If you are appreciated, you are going to be ahead with everything. One day you are just starting from your kitchen, you are making small cakes, you are sending puddings, you are sending the salads, you are sending baked things and all. So many people are doing it in different ways. They are doing it. They are sending all the setup things. They are making Thai food. They are making Chinese. They are making this and that. That's very good. But if they are going to do it in a very big, nice way, with the nice ingredients, with it not compromising, if I'll save 100 rupees from here, I'll save 200 rupees from here. So let me do this way. Let me just not put this thing. Then the success is not there. I feel that way. But if we are then they are doing it in a nice way and putting proper ingredients and proper everything, then the market is there for you and you are going to get it. And then you will go from your kitchen, you go ahead. I will say like that. I just believe in that. And it is very good because they are not wasting their time for nothing. And still they are sitting at home with their family and they are doing from their own. They are not wasting their time.
Mrs. Bector, back in 78, like I said earlier, there were no digital platforms, there were no marketing strategies. You couldn't hire a manager for your businesses. Things weren't as streamlined as they are right now. How is it that you went about marketing your products? How is it that you actually grew from there? And were there any supply chain challenges that you had back then?
No, I never had anything. It was only word of mouth. It was only by word of mouth which really made me go high. I have never advertised. I have never gone through any channel, nothing. Now there are so many things. You are doing it. Everywhere you are speaking. Till today, you must have seen that Cremica is not too much on the advertisement. It is the product which is selling by the taste and the ingredients. I believe in that because sometimes you feel that when you are doing these things and you are advertising also in a small way, you start advertising this and that, and then your budgets go high. The budgets go high in some spheres. For a small business, it's difficult. In my days, it was not there at all. It was nothing. It was nothing. You couldn't go on any Google or to find out anything what is available anywhere. You had to find out who is the supplier who can give me this thing or who can give me that thing. So this was very difficult time. Sometimes I used to need help from somebody. Please tell me where I can get this thing or not. So I used to go there and get it. But now the things are available everywhere. And then you can go on Google and find out everything. Can you get everything? Everything is there. And you can marketing also, you can do it in a very big way. And there are so many people who are there to help you and all. In my time, it was only word of mouth, nothing more than that. Because my products were so good. People, whenever used to lay out for the weddings and all, people instead of seeing the bride, people used to come and see my stuff. The setup and all. They said, see how lovely it's looking, how nice it's looking. So it was only word of mouth. Because when I started working, I started because it was by my friends. I used to be, it was my hobby to call people and their children for swimming and all, then they feed them. And then call my friends over for dinners and lunches and all. And just was to make stuff and do it. I used to even make food and cater to 200 people at my home without any caterer. Ludhiana, there was no caterer available at that time. There was no caterer or anything. And there was a halwai type people, which I never wanted to do it. So I used to do everything my own without any help. Not any proper help of servants also. Very small, because my father-in-law never wanted any servant to be in the kitchen. He says कि औरत के संस्कार जो आज बच्चों के संस्कार हैं वो खराब हो जाते हैं अगर औरत खाना ना बनाए. So this was my initial start was like that, and I always believed in this thing. It's better the lady should work at home because she can make everything with love. It was my friend's initiative. Why don't you start? Why don't you start? They said, nonsense. What should I start? I don't want to start. I just want to feed you people. They said, you better start, better start. So I started with the Fates ice creams and all. In those days, there was too many Fates and all. And it was such an encouraging thing. Then everybody wanted, no, you do for my party, you do for my marriage, you do for this thing. And they compelled me to do it. They compelled me to do it.
That's such an incredible anecdote that you shared, that the boy side demanded that the desserts be catered by Mrs. Bector. Incredible story. But, you know, Mrs. Bector, what I want to now understand is, how is it that you're going to take the business forward from here? You're sitting on a very large, expanded base. In the next 5 years, is it going to be premiumization that you're going to focus on? Or is it going to be, you know, doing away with low-cost variants? How is it that you grow from here? Because it gets that more difficult.
No, we naturally, unless we are not going to increase our work, increase our sales and all, how can we do properly? We have to do it. We have to do it, and we are trying our level best to go ahead with all the new things in the market and with all the better sales and better places to go, because we are not all over India. We are at some places we are not there. And we want to now introduce ourselves there also. And we want to really go ahead with all the business in every point. We want to increase our business in a big way. We don't want to be just here and just standing here without doing anything. And I have just told my children, as then my grandchildren and my sons also, never compromise on ingredients. The less profits are better than more. Because the main thing is, we cannot just do it. It's fine. We can have more profit here. This type of a ingredient or something. No, we will never do it. We will never compromise on anything. Less profits are better than the wrong ingredients. So it is better to go ahead, and we have to go ahead, and we have to increase our sales. We will really like to go in a very big way, high, big. We just can't stand here only. That is not possible. That is not possible. And we have to really work hard for that. And my children are really working hard for it and all. And I'm always there with them for any help, because till today, anything new comes in the market, I have to be passed by me and tasted by me. Till I say it's fine, then just go ahead with it.
You're the last port of contact when it comes to the quality checks. Interesting. Also, Mrs. Bector, I wanted to understand, how is it that you see consumer trends changing now? Because, so many people don't want to have sugar, they're gluten intolerant. Do you think the consumer patterns are changing per se when it comes to biscuits, bakery and other products?
Yeah, there is a change. There is a change. And we also want that we should give the market whatever they want. And then the main thing is that there are more working people also. The families are more, ladies are also more working now. So they want something very fast. So we are just trying to be in a frozen foods also. We want to just, we are going to start the frozen foods also very soon in the market, because they should be helped with the good quality stuff. With the good quality stuff, we are there. And the people really want to have less sugar, less everything. And we are also working on those lines. We can supply people things which are better way for the health and all. We are very concerned about these things. And we are really wanting to work on these lines. Because the trends are changing quite a bit. But there are still the trends are there, because the youngsters, they want to eat out quite a bit. There's some youngsters, they're not. They are very health conscious. They just want, they should get something at home. But something with the working mothers and all, they're not getting it properly. So they have to work on their own. So that's why if you get the frozen something, vegetables types and things like that, so then they can really go ahead with these things. And they're finding it very happy. They are very happy with these things. And we want to do those lines now.
The other thing, Mrs. Bector, I wanted to speak about is, what one is seeing now, that there is an increase in raw material prices, be it wheat, be it sugar, or for that matter, milk as well, which is basic raw material for you. Will that impact your margins in the near term at least?
Yeah. That is really bothering us also quite a bit. That is really a bothering point, because all the prices are going very high. And everywhere, all the professionals and all the ingredients are costly now. Everything. And that is really making the difference. And whenever you're making any product, you want to use the best thing. You cannot go compromise on anything. Because if you'll compromise on the wheat, flour or anything, the base will be wrong. We cannot compromise on these things at all. That product will go wrong, because we won't be able to make the same stuff. So all keeping the quality, keeping everything, we have to work on it. Sometimes in Punjab wheat, we cannot do so many things. Sometimes every time we have to get the wheat from Madhya Pradesh and all, because it is because of the main, you can say, whatever wheat type quality is here is not right for our lines and all. So because we want to make the best of everything, that is the main thing. So we want to buy the best everything. Every price is going high. Even the butter is going high, the milk is going high, the flour is high, sugar is high. So you can just see, and even the diesel, the everything, whatever, you can say anything matter, everything is going very costly, very, very costly. And when you increase your product's price a bit, then the customer says, oh, why you are increasing, why you are doing it. So these are small.
Absolutely. I completely get your point over there, Mrs. Bector. So purely talking about all the factors that you just highlighted in terms of the increase in raw material costs, do you think you'll be able to double your growth in the next 4 to 5 years?
Why not? We will do it. And I'm a positive person. When you think positive, you become positive, and everything turns out like that. Because if you think negative, then everything goes negative. I am believer of that, because I feel I'm a person who is a very big believer of God, and I just believe in it. And I work like a worship. I tell my children also to work like a worship. Never think you will go wrong anywhere. Try to do the best. Some hurdles are always there in life. That is always there. One may say anything, hurdles always come, but hurdles go if are solved properly. It's fine. So you have to really take care of everything, and you have to be very cautious about everything, because because now every business you have the professionals are there, the times are of professionals. So professionals are working everywhere. So it will be going ahead. That's fine. This, I don't think it will go bad.
Okay, I'm sure that positive will is going to take you forward. As we wind up, Mrs. Bector, I have to ask you, which is your own favorite pudding?
My own favorite, in fact, I have a sweet tooth. That's why I think I started making all the sweet things in my life, because I have a sweet tooth. But I really I love my all puddings, to be very frank. And basically my tiramisu, what I make, is really very, very good and very different. The reason being, whatever is used in tiramisu was not available in Ludhiana at all. So I developed my own cream cheese and own everything that was developed by me, myself. So and I use that. So everybody says, please give the recipe. Wow. So I said, no, recipe is not only for the family, that's all. I will not give this recipe to anybody. But that tiramisu is my favorite, my favorite. And people around me are also, they have a very favorite tiramisu is there. Tiramisu is my favorite. But still, I love Indian food quite a bit. I love the halwas and all. I really love them, to be very frank, which are made like what I want to make, not otherwise. I don't like everybody's halwa or anything. I don't like it. I really like the way nicely made it.
Okay. On that sweet note, Mrs. Bector, pleasure having you on the show today, and thank you so much for sharing so much insight with our viewers.
Yeah, thank you so much.